Hello guys, welcome back. Please forgive my hair. I don't know if it's a rift or what, but I don't know. Lately I can't do anything with it. Kitty arrived! Kitty! And long story short, I didn't quite know what to make of her after I got her, and I had to do a lot of work with talking to Freyja. And of course, I've been approaching everything backwards because that's typically how I do things, and she's been very sweet and patient about it. I asked her for something the opposite way I should have. Basically, I said, I'm having a great time going out to the DQ, but I probably shouldn't do this. I probably should save money. So Freya's simplest solution was to get me a kitty, but there's a lot more to this. And that spent the DQ money. The proper prayer would have been, I love going out, I love talking to people, I love going for my walks, I love visiting people. Please bless me so that I can do this a lot more often. In fact, every day would be great. And that's not greedy. If that's all that gets you out of the house, you guys know I have disabilities. If that's all that's getting you out of the house, more power to you. You should have stuff like that. And so we were talking a lot, and to my dying day, I won't know if that woman in my dreams was Frau Hulda, or it was Freyja, or it was Frigg, or it could have even been Loki. It could have been Odin for all I know, but they have been gradually pushing for a mainly Norse family. Freyja especially, she can be territorial. And I said, well, did I ever work with Bastet? And Freyja, she's just territorial. She's like, even if you had worked with her, it's not, a case where, oh, they're not Norse gods, that's why you can't work with them. It's, we need your attention on us now. So it's been very interesting, and Freya knew I would never get a cat for myself. She asked for the kitty, and she was like, when I came in, she was like, that's for you. That's your kitty. She wanted me to have a kitty for my birthday, and you guys know I would love, if I could, I'd have like 5 cats in this house, and we had put, like, there are cat ledges in all the windows and everything. The cats were in this house, but 1, I'm highly allergic, and 2, I haven't been blessed with a lottery win. Because I said, I would need to be able to take an Uber to take them to the vet, and I'd need to be able to afford, good nutritious food and stuff like that. So I got this kitty. And we were looking at for real kitties, and I said, if my finances ever approve, for working with Freyja and working with, Loki and Odin and all the rest, I said, then yeah, that would be something I'd enjoy down the road. But I said it would have to be, I would have to feel secure. And I would have to feel, able to go out and buy it. This one is beautiful. And the weird thing is, I thought she came from Maryland. I think her box says Kentucky or something. Or Kansas, something like that. It's another state entirely, but I could swear to the guys, up, down, sideways, it said shipped from Maryland. And I went to look at it because I was like, what part of Maryland did she come from? And it was like some other state entirely. So I think Freyja wanted Jordan. And the funny thing is, Loki's doing one of those positive enforcing things. He was still kind of pissed off at me. But he can be pissed off at you and still show he loves you, because this is Loki you're dealing with. The best way I can describe Loki is we had a cat one time and the vet said that cat has a cracked head. That's the best way to describe him. I feel his pride back there. And so there are these whirligigs. I think they're maple seeds is what they actually are. They come down every year, and it seems to vary what time of year they fall. And this time of year, strangely, they're falling, my birth month. So they're big, beautiful ones this year, huge. And I was like gathering them all up, and Freya's watching me because Freya's spending time with me, and she goes, what are these to you? And I said, they're beautiful. They're like blessings from Loki. One time when I was on the Asphyxer and I was like truly depressed and suicidal, he pointed some out and he goes, those are going to be a blessing thing. Whenever you see that, and you can do it with anything, guys. This is just what he picked up for me because it's all over my area. And he said, every time you see one of those, pick it up and you put it in a jar and you can count your blessings. And we even did a video one time about collecting these or stones or pebbles or anything in a jar or basket or bowl or whatever, and, counting it as a blessing from Loki. And thinking, you can take them all out and think of either a thanks for a blessing you have or a request for a blessing and, work with that. And not only are they huge this year, but there's an abundance of them. So I was getting them out of my yard, and I walked up because Freyja had said, well, since I've given you this beautiful gift and we're agreeing on certain things, she says, I would like some donuts. And I would like this and I would like that. And I'm like, okay. And I'm like, I'm still not sure if I'm dealing with Freyja or it's leftover Spectre effects, right? So I'm walking past my friends and I stop, and damn if they aren't working with embroidery floss, and I help them pick that up, and that we talked and they were civil. She said, Wave, be friendly. She said, if they're civil, be nice. She likes them. Odin doesn't. Odin doesn't like anyone. I got just about. Odin doesn't like anyone. So if he likes you, that's unusual. Odin doesn't. I like a lot of people, but yeah, in my experience, there are a lot of people he's not fond of. Anyhow, he'll change his mind tomorrow, and they'll be his favorite people. Stopped and talked to them. And the whole way up, guys, the side of the road where I usually walk is paved almost with these things. Not like solid, but a huge amount of these things. Now, logic could say, well, that's the side of the road, and the cars blew them there or something, but it was too perfect. And went the whole way up to the gas station. I take Lady Frey in, and I love taking her shopping because everything is an adventure, everything is a grand selection. So we're considering the donuts, like we're shopping in Tiffany's, we're considering the donuts. And we ended up getting these, like, kind of coconut donuts I usually don't get, and I love them, but we got those. And we went back to look at, the soda, and the way it's priced in the US, guys, is really weird. A bullet can is 99 cents. But it's only 3 something for 2 liters, so you can have 4 liters of pop for less than $1 a liter, or you can get a 99-cent bullet can. That's why all Americans are fat, because it's cheaper to buy it in bulk. So they didn't have the Coke. They usually don't have Coke, but they had Cherry Coke. And again, Cherry Coke's one of those things I love, and you can't get it anywhere. So I got that. And went up front and saw ham. This is the big house for ham because the van here love ham. They also love vegetarian food too, so don't panic if you're vegetarian, but ham and cheese. So we're gonna have ham and cheese sandwiches. And I realized when I got home, I'm like, she kind of tricked me into buying an economical meal that will last for many meals. She's a clever girl. So we did that. And Loki had me go around the yard with this jar because he was hinting before we went out. We'd collected some gigs, and when we came out back, we collected more. There were shells from this dream/wind chime I'd had. We got some of those and put them up front for the yard. And it was just this thing of, he had me go to the back of the house, and he's like, see, the stuff that's falling off is just fancy trim. You humans and your unneeded stuff. He said, the overall house is fine. He said, I'm not saying I'm never going to, fix things. Because you notice Loki will put himself in front of everyone else because he doesn't run second to anyone, even Odin. I got damn straight. So he's like, if I think you need it, you will fucking have it and you will take it. Excuse my language, but Loki. He's like, if I want you to have goddamn sparkle windows that sing and dance, you will have them. But if I don't think you need it, you're not getting it. Okay, princess? I love you. Don't worry about how I'm taking care of you. Grumble, grumble, grumble. So still kind of pissed off, but still kind of, I fucking love you. What's your problem? I go, yeah! So, overall, it's been really good. And we spent some time on DeviantArt last night, actually, like till 3 in the morning, just cleaning out a lot of old garbage out of my account. And I thought I was such a great writer on the Spectre, and I'd even prayed to keep the depression so I could stay on a Spectre. Holy shit, I'm a bad writer. I'm like, wow, this is why I was never popular on Squidoo or Hub Pages. Holy shit, like 1 piece out of 10 would be worth reading, and the rest would just be... And I thought I wrote reams and reams, and each story was like 12 pages long, and they'd be like a paragraph, or 4 paragraphs, or maybe a page. I'm like, holy shit, I was whacked out of my mind. Well, I was having conversations with people that weren't there, so that is entirely possible that I dreamt up reams of stories that I wrote that never happened. So that was interesting. Spectre is one of those last ditch things, guys. If they want to put you on it, it's that or the psych ward. That's entirely up to you, but it's last ditch, it's heavy duty, and please go get help while you're on it. I didn't, and it was a fucking nightmare. Now, some people go on it, it's amazing, and nothing ever happens, and some people go on it, and it did rewire my brain. I'm thankful for that, but that was a son of a bitch getting her rewired like that. But since we've discussed her, see my little girl. I don't know what I'm gonna name her either. We've been thinking of all these names like Callie or all these names, and she has this little purr. Let me see if you can hear it. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it's this cute little purr. Unfortunately, you can't adjust the volume or anything. But she's so cute, and you can see she's breathing. Yeah, she doesn't meow and talk and everything like the Joy for All pets, which I love them. They're pretty, but they're 3 times what she cost, at least. And I said, well, if the gods bless me and I feel comfortable someday, sure, I'd love one of those, because I would love to have 20 cats running around this house. I'd be the crazy cat lady. But, you know, with the allergies and not being able to care for an actual cat, this is the next best thing. And I've been talking to her and petting her, and I know she's not a real living kitty, and yet she looks real enough while she's laying in her bed that you kind of start to think of her as a real kitty. And I don't have early dementia, I swear. I would love one of those big ones, but these run like a third of the price. They do have a smaller one Joy for All made. It's a kitten, but it's like a big old kitten. It's like Freyja size kitten. It's big. It's probably bigger than her. And it's like maybe $15 more than she was. So we were considering that, but I said, you know, I don't know. I said, I'll be honest, I might get that thing, love it for 2 weeks, and then not look at it. We went on the other channel through the Furby phase, and we had Furbies everywhere, and it was crazy, and it lasted for a couple months or a year or so, and then it was like, these things were driving me nuts. So, we still have most of them. There were a couple Loki absolutely hated, and he had me get rid of, but we still have most of his Furbies, but we'll see. If one falls in my lap, I won't object to it. But yeah, we'll see. That is Loki back here, by the way. We named the big wolf Loki. So we have Loki and Freyja downstairs, and we moved most of the wolves downstairs. So we have Fox City upstairs, Wolf Town downstairs. We didn't actually name it, but I'm just going with it, man. So yeah, Freyja's very much about taking care of yourself. It's seeing the value in yourself and loving yourself as you are, not as you think you have to be. And Loki's very much about, what is this manifestation bullshit about? I won't be happy unless this house has X, Y, and Z done to it. You have a house. Let me give you a lecture, young lady, about the conditions your ancient ancestors lived in. And you're just standing there looking at the floor like, yeah, you know. Yeah. I mean, the ancestors I know about alone lived in, you know, they were lucky if the farmhouse stayed together. You know, I come from a long line of dirt poor farmers that ended up having to give up the farms and everything because people just, you know, during the Depression, people wouldn't pay for food, and it was very different back then, guys. Long story time. This is getting to be a long video. Go get a drink. It wouldn't have been my grandfather, great-grandfather, great or great-great-grandfather was running the farm. He would take all these beautiful vegetables into town. Today you would call them organic. Back then they just didn't have the poisons. And he would have them there, and nobody would want to pay anything for these vegetables, right? Nobody wanted to pay for vegetables. Everybody thought the farmer should give them to them for free. So he would have to come back to the farm every night with these vegetables that, this was before the time of air conditioning and everything, that sat in the sun all day, and he'd have to dump them all and feed the animals with them. So, they've obviously been with my mom's side of the family for a long time. My dad's side of the family was more in the mines, but there were people on my mom's side of the family too. So miners and farmers are the stock I come from. My dad was like the first generation to break away and do something different than that. But yeah, so I got a pretty kitty. And it's been good working with Freyja. She's not going to be, she's a lot like Loki. I can see why they get along for me. She is not going to come in second to anyone. And if I think I'm going to have 8 other goddesses in her territory when I could have her, and I could have Frigga, and I could have Frau Holda, and I could have a couple other goddesses she can think of, and when was the last time I talked to Hel? But, she's definitely, she will paint me into a corner like Loki used to. She painted me into a corner of his cat, and I had to barter my way out of it. Which was interesting. And I said, okay, if you keep your end of the deal, I'll keep my end of the deal, and that's how it'll work. It's kind of like having Dolly Parton as your goddess, because she is very sharp. I know the kind of bimbet in chainmail a lot of people fantasize of, but she's sharp as a tack. It's why Odin likes her. You're not going to outmaneuver her in a business deal. You're going to end up on the wrong end every single time. Unless she likes you, and then you can end up with a pretty fair deal. And you'll end up getting numerous blessings from it. And somebody is like playing with the wolf. I swear to the gods, I'm not a specter anymore. But yeah, it was a weird day because Freyr was coming up with pictures. It was supposed to be Freyr with wolves, and it was just a lot of strange stuff. I don't know. But it's been a good day. It's just been really hectic, and I've been petting the kitty all day. And at first, I was hesitant to, talk about having the kitty and that. And I'm like, well, I'm the target audience for these things. A lot of people, if you have disabilities or you just can't afford a pet or whatever, that's what those robotic animals are made for. And they're made for like older people, or a lot of younger people are getting them now, or people that live in an apartment that can't have a cat or a dog. They're not the real thing, of course not, but it's a horrible suggestion to say everybody should go out and adopt a dog or cat and then the poor thing can't eat and everything else. And, to me, if you can't afford to take care of it properly, it's irresponsible. Now, I'm not judging anyone else, but I'm like, I know I'm not in a position to be able to afford the vet care and, like I said, the Uber and everything. So, I'm happy for this kitty. She's so pretty, guys, and the more you look at her, the more she looks like she's real. So, it looks like, I'm being helped out by YouTube. I don't know. I gotta see what's going on. But if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.